Okay, just got finished seeing Transformers. Transformers, where to start? It wasn't very good. Well, first let me tell you how I think. I like Transformers 2 better than I like Transformers 1. And the reason was, in Transformers 2, they spent more time on Autobots and Decepticons, which is what I paid to see. Transformers 1, it was more about the humans, and most of the movies with the humans, and that's not what I paid to see. I paid to see Autobots and Decepticons beating the shit out of each other. And that's what I got in Transformers 2. I got to see that. There was a lot of problems with Transformers 2. A lot. But I still got what I paid for, which was to watch Autobots beat the shit out of Decepticons and vice versa. You didn't get that in the first one. You had army people fighting Decepticons and Autobots running around and just stuff. And I understand the first one was a setup movie, but it wasn't what I wanted to see. The second one was what I wanted to see. There was a lot of Autobots and Decepticons fighting each other. That being said, this movie went back to the first movie format, but more so. I'm going to be giving you a shitload of spoilers. So I don't even give a fuck how bad this movie was. Well, I shouldn't say how bad. This movie wasn't bad. It just wasn't very good. I shit you not. This is a 2.5-hour movie, and an hour and a half of this movie is set up. I swear to God. At least, almost. I'm not exactly sure if it's an exact hour and a half, but close enough to it, because I actually pulled my phone out and looked at the time, and it was an hour and 20 minutes had went by, and it was still doing setup. That's a problem. Because one, that's not what I paid to see. Two, it wasn't very good setup either. I mean, don't get me wrong, the core story itself, if you break it down to its very core, it's a good story. It really is. But they have so much fucking padding that it just drags on and on and on. All unnecessary padding at that. Special effects, they were decent special effects. You know. But it's just an hour and a half of setup. And again, just like in the first movie, most of it was with the humans. Even during the action scenes, a lot of action scenes were humans versus Decepticons. That's not what I paid to see. I paid to see Autobots and Decepticons. Not human and Decepticons, and occasionally Autobots and Decepticons. If I wanted to see aliens fighting people, I would watch Battle for LA. Or Battle LA, or whichever the fuck that movie was called. This movie was more like a mix between Independence Day. Yeah, a mix between Independence Day and Battle LA. They took the two movies and they just merged them together. What else? The dialogue was not that good either. Some of the dialogue didn't even make sense. Like, there's this one area where they have this bitchy federal agent person. You know, like in the first two they had the asshole federal agent people. This one they had a woman this time, and she couldn't be an asshole. They had to make her into a bitch. So the bitchy federal agent woman, and she says to one of the army guys, Sam is there with his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, and he's like, oh yeah, I can vouch for them. And she says something along the lines of what did she say? Something like, I didn't know we were, as far as my knowledge is, we're not giving military information to teenagers. What? They're nowhere near teenagers. Sam has already graduated college and trying to find a job. The girl already has a job, a high-stakes job. I'm like, what? They're in their 20s. There's nothing teen about them. I don't know if that was meant to be metaphorically, which still doesn't make sense because they didn't act like teenagers. So I don't even know why that line was even in there. It's lines like that. It's like, what? That makes no sense. There is a lot in the movie that just doesn't make sense, and it's not plot holes. I can't say it's plot holes. It's bad editing. Just bad editing. Stuff they decided to cut out. Why? I don't know. But they decided to cut out when they could have. I don't know why. When they could have cut out all that other useless padding in like the first hour and a half. Like there's a scene where Bumblebee just saved Sam. I literally just saved Sam and an army guy. Alright? The next scene, Bumblebee is captured with other Autobots. I'm like, when did that happen? He was just there a scene ago. Very, very poor editing. Very, very poor editing. I mean, geez, my editing is way better than this. Optimus Prime was so not Optimus Prime in this one. Like, in the first one, he was more Optimus Prime, personality-wise. The second one, he was Optimus Prime when he wasn't dealing with Decepticons. When he was dealing with Decepticons, he became not Optimus Prime. Personality became someone else. If anybody knows, watched the show, they know how Optimus Prime is supposed to be. And when they came to Decepticons, he wasn't that. In this one, he just wasn't Optimus Prime at all. He just looked like Optimus Prime, had Optimus Prime's voice, and that's it. The personality was so far off, except when he was like talking to Sam. But other than that, the personality was so far off. It was like, really? I was like, why did you even name this guy Optimus Prime? You should have just called him something else. You should have just called him Killer Prime. That's all he did the whole movie. But, what else? They did do a good job in explaining certain things. Like, there was one thing that I thought, like, the fact that there was the other thing, too, they keep doing. Stop mentioning stuff from the cartoons, please. Oh, hopefully this is the last one, by the way. This seems like it's going to be the last movie, and thank God, because this is just going to get worse from this one. I understand why the critics would do so bad on this. But stop mentioning stuff from the TV show, please. I mean, they have the arc in this, and it's like, it's not the arc. I don't even know why they bothered calling it the arc. They could have just called it something else, and it would have been fine. Fan service doesn't do anybody any good when you fuck it up. So they do shit like that. I didn't like, not Soundwave. I didn't like Shockwave. Shockwave's in this movie, he has some fucking Decepticon worm shit. It's like, what? I don't get it. He has a pet worm now? Why? It's just a lot in this movie. Just a lot that wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. The action scenes were pretty good. But again, you didn't get that much Autobot versus Decepticons action scenes, which is what I paid for. If I see Transformers in the title, I want to see Autobots versus Decepticons. That's all I really want to see. And I want to see lots of it. I don't want to see humans fighting Decepticons. That's not what I paid for. I paid for Autobot Decepticon action. Yeah, it's just, I don't want to say it's bad. It's just not really good. I mean, there are some good aspects in it. It does make you laugh quite a bit. And like I said, the action scenes are really good. Special effects are really good. And I don't know if it was because they didn't have the budget to put that many Transformer scenes in it, but if you don't have the budget for it, don't make the movie. Just don't. Don't waste our time. I'll put it to you like this. Jurassic Park 2 had more dinosaur scenes in it than this movie had Transformer scenes. I shit you not. If you was to chop up, if you was to cut out every single scene with Transformers in it, with any Transformer in it, the most you would get is 45 minutes. And that sounds like a lot until you remember this is a 2.5-hour movie. And you're wondering what the hell they spent all the rest of their budget on. Yeah, it wasn't very good. The action scenes that you did get to see were pretty good. They were exciting. The special effects were really good, of course. They didn't do that, and that was another thing too they did. For some strange reason, they decided to give the Transformers blood, like red blood. I don't understand why. There's no reason for that. You didn't have it in the first two movies. Why are you going to put it in now? And then why are you giving them effects like they have Starscream's talking and he's spitting, I guess, oil out his mouth while he's talking? Well, what is the point of that? Is it supposed to make them more realistic, more real to life? Because it doesn't help. It doesn't work. It's oil. It's not spit. It's just unnecessary stuff. That was just like that. The blood stuff was really, really just like out of left field. I was like, why do they have blood all of a sudden? But yeah, no, it has its good qualities. They should have cut it down a lot. It shouldn't have been 2.5 hours. They should have left the scenes that explain certain events in there and cut out certain scenes that had to do with the padding that wasn't necessary at all. But yeah, no, it wasn't very good. If I was you guys, I'd save my money. Wait for it to come on cable. Save your money. Go see Green Lantern again, or go see Green Lantern. I'd rather would have seen that than. I'd rather would have watched Green Lantern a second time than see this movie, because at least with Green Lantern, it was short, it was quick. Character development was right as much as you need. They cut out certain scenes certain scenes didn't make sense in Green Lantern, but it didn't take away from the movie. Here it did. It's just, yeah, save your money. Go see something else, anything else. Wait for it to come on cable, because you're not missing anything. This is definitely going to be on one of my bad movie reviews. That sounded like a retarded thing to say, but yeah, I'm definitely, when this comes out, I'm going to have to do a breakdown and make fun of it, because it's not that good. I'm on the borderline of saying it's really bad, but there were some good aspects that I did like, like some of the action scenes, and I got to see certain Transformers. And that's the other thing too. They started making up Transformers names, throwing in Transformers that never existed. Why? I don't know. They just decided to. There's a lot wrong. You thought the second one had problems? This one has a lot of problems. Yeah, save your money. Don't bother. Wait for it to come on. If you want to see it that bad, get it on bootleg or wait for it to come on cable. I'm out.